My name's Sarah. I am 22 years old and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts in the United States. I'm on the Elf and Net team this year. I grew up in a really Catholic family. I'm the youngest of 5, so I have 4 older siblings, and we did a lot of the typical Catholic things. We went to Mass every Sunday. I was an altar server. I went to Catholic schools all growing up, and I was really involved in my parish, but I didn't really feel that close to Jesus. I was just kind of going on the week-to-week basis with my family because that's just what they had told me to do. But I never really felt like I had a connection to it. I always hated going to Mass every Sunday. I had to be dragged to go to Mass every Sunday, just like I feel like a lot of kids do, but I just really didn't feel like I had that connection. So I was always told that God loved me, but I never really truly believed it. And then when I was 15, I went on a retreat called Acts, and it was something that all of my older siblings had gone to. They had gone every year, so like my oldest sibling would go, and then the next year, the next sibling would go, and then all of a sudden, like all 4 of them had gone, and they loved it, and they just raved about it, and they all felt like they had this really strong community of people around them. And I wasn't really a part of it because I was still too young. So then when I turned 15, it was my turn to go. So I wasn't necessarily super excited to go. I was more excited to just see what it was all about because they loved it so much. But the faith aspect of it wasn't really that appealing to me because I thought that like it might not be my thing. I just wanted to really be in on all the secrets because they wouldn't tell me anything about what it was about because they didn't want to spoil anything. So I went on this weekend and it was from a Thursday night to a Sunday, and it was the best weekend of my entire life. My sister was the director, the teen director of the weekend. So she was kind of in charge. She was 18 at the time, and she was in charge of being the face of the weekend. 2 of my siblings gave testimonies that weekend, so I got to listen to their side of the story and how they grew in their faith. And then I just heard so many personal stories from people of how they really formed their relationship with Jesus, and it was just really life-changing for me. I got to see different dramas that resonated with me in a way that I didn't know that Jesus, I really hadn't really known that Jesus was still alive. In my brain, he was someone that that you learn in history, but I would always think to myself, how could you have a relationship with somebody that's been dead for 2,000 years? Because he wasn't alive to me. But then when I was on this Acts weekend, they really showed me that Jesus is alive and that he knew me by name. And he really wanted to have that relationship with me. That when I was with this community of people, they really just had this joy about them that brought them that brought so much positivity into the room, so much light into the room, and it made me really feel Jesus's love, and I started to realize that this is something that I really want in my day-to-day life. And so I left that weekend on top of the world. I was so excited. All I wanted, I was on what we called a Jesus high, just because we just didn't want to leave the retreat. We wanted to continue on, keep going, and I just hung on to that community. That was at the end of my freshman year of high school when I was 15, and for the next 5 years I continued doing that retreat. I was on team after that with all of my siblings. I was in on all of those secrets that they had, and I just really loved that community. And that's what I realized when I was going about every summer. I was centering my summers around going to this retreat because I knew I would get to feel that joy of Jesus's love and presence, and I could be myself, and I could pray and not feel, and I felt like I could be confident in praying and being so happy and joyful in Jesus's love when I was with those people in that community. And it really showed me that I can be pushed to have this relationship with Jesus, and those people really pushed me to have that relationship with Jesus. And so as I continued to do these retreats, I really started to grow in that relationship. And I realized that being around a community of people who also have this love for Jesus really pushed me to be the best version of myself.